Anyways, folks, today I'm live here with AlphaRangerGaming. I don't think, do you have a Twitch yet or no?
I have one set up. I haven't started streaming yet. I'm hoping to start this weekend.
Anyways, it's a pop up soon, but I'm live here with AlphaRangerGaming from YouTube doing a motivational type stream. Basically, just here sharing our stories and basically just talking about overall mental health. So I'm gonna give the floor over to you, like you explain a bit more about yourself and just stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. First off, Rocket, thanks for having me on the stream. I appreciate it. Hi to chat. Good to see all you guys here today. That's awesome. And yeah, so I'm Alpha Ranger Gaming. I've been a gamer for quite some time, probably since I was in like third or fourth grade. I do for YouTube and streaming will be mostly Magic the Gathering. I started playing in fourth grade, and I've been playing for quite some time ever since then. It was for those who are Magic fans. I started in Revised, so that I know that somewhat dates me a little bit, but that's all right. But another reason for the channel, why I wanted to build it was, I wanted to help elevate gamers, to the next level in their life. I see a big need in the community for that. I want to help, get people motivated to, not just enjoy their game, but to enjoy life as well, life outside their game, having, balance in their life. And that's something that I'm really wanting to do with the channel. It's a work in progress. My girl, sorry, that's the puppy. But yeah, it's something that I'm really passionate about. As far as personal development, physical development, things like that. I think it's something that we need to make sure that we stay on top of as gamers. And I know that there's a lot of mental things that afflict us as well, and we can definitely chat about those.
Yeah, based on that's basically the whole reason that I started doing this on my channel. Like, this is my third time doing it. The first one was with Jonathan from Liminar. The next one was with Chad, and the third one I had, and like I'm actually starting my own motivational speaking program, going around different places and just sharing my story. Because, as you could tell, I do have a speech impediment, so I hear myself differently than you can hear me. Like, I sound normal to you, but yet, even when I play back audios, I sound like a totally different person. And that's basically one of the main challenges I face. Like, I wish I didn't have it, but like, it's something I can't control. I want to say I read through about 10 years of speech therapy just to figure out ways to control it. And I have to admit, it has gotten better. Like, I used to have like a bad talking device where I could press buttons and it would say what I want to say for me. I have an iPad for that now. I never use it. Like, I haven't touched the program for that in, I want to say, almost 3 years. Because, like, it has not been that bad anymore. It just, like, being able to share my stories, because, let me tell you, I've been through a hell of a lot to get not only to where I am on Twitch here today, but also to get where I am in life today. Like, if it was not for a shit ton of people, I would not be sitting in this chair here today. Cause, yeah, I can feel I'm starting to get emotional here, but let's just say that I'll admit, I suffer from ADD, ADHD. I have scoliosis, spina bifida, so my back is messed up. My spine is shaped like an S. I suffer from severe depression, anxiety, probably borderline PTSD from what my mom's ex did. And I just been through a shit ton to the point where I literally had to drop a whole rack of my friends, to the point where I'm left with maybe 2 friends and then my girlfriend. That's all. And I dropped a whole rack of friends last year because I was done with the Sid. Like the recent one I dropped, I don't care. Like I could care less at this point now, because she did something I did not appreciate during the most hardest point of my life. And actually, hold on. So just recently, I lost my dad's father to stage 4 brain cancer, and he beat it. But the first time he beat it, and then sadly it came back around last month. No, in March, I believe, and we couldn't make it out to go see him because I was still in college. Like I'm a full-time college student, and just everyone was busy. And then when we had the chance to go see him, this whole COVID thing was happening, and obviously this is the last picture I ever had with him. It was from my dad's wedding, or no, it was my dad's wedding pictures up there because my dad's parents couldn't make it because of his cancer, and as you can figure, I was a complete wreck afterwards. Like the minute I got the news of that, I was a complete wreck because he was basically like my best friend to me. Aside from my dad, like I love going up there. Me and him would constantly joke around about someone taking him back to Quebec because my dad is from the East Coast, Prince Edward Island. He's actually up there right now, and I only got to see him for 2 weeks, once a year in the summer. So having someone possibly lose a life that be that far away from you, obviously you're gonna feel like complete crap about it. And so I was completely overwhelmed with that, with college, with work, with sports, with my streaming. Like everything basically built up inside me to the point where I just said, okay, fuck it, I'm done. To the point where I started dropping friends. I legit started blocking people on Discord because I did not want to be in contact with them because of a past I had with them. Let's just say that if I did not drop my most recent ex-friend, I would have ended up probably getting myself put in jail for knocking her head. All because I wanted to be left alone because I was dealing with this. She thought it was okay to ask me why I'm being all depressed or down and not wanted to be near her all the time. I stopped where I was in the middle of my college hallway, and because I was on my way to Timmy's to get hot chocolate and a bagel, I stopped, turned around to her and said, "Who the fuck do you think you are? You know what's going on. You know summer that I only get to see for 2 weeks every summer might possibly die from stage 4 brain cancer. So you think it's right to stand there and ask me why I'm being all depressed, all mopey, all sad? There's no place for that. So from this point forward, delete my contacts, delete my Snapchat, delete my Instagram, Facebook, my number, everything you have me. Don't talk to me again. I'm done with you." And I walked away. At that, I get a text from my girlfriend, because my girlfriend and her are still friends. I get a text from my girlfriend, like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I'm not talking about it. You cannot make me go back there and apologize for what I said. If anyone says, she should apologize for it. Because I did nothing wrong. I was offending myself." To this day, she still has not apologized for that. And I have not talked to her since. And honestly, I have no problem with that. Like, I'm happy where I am today.
That's good. I mean, sometimes you have to cut ties with people that, don't lift you up, that are dragging you down, that have, are, it's toxic to your life. And that's part of understanding who you are and what you need in your life. And I think the important thing to remember through all the things that you've gone through is the fact that you're still here. You haven't quit, you haven't given up. That's the most motivational, important thing of all of this, is that through the years of speech therapy and things like that, you kept at it, you kept going, you never stopped. And I think that's the most important thing that you can take from all of this, is that it's like you said, you don't even have to use your app on your iPad anymore. It's like if you just keep going, you keep doing it, you'll get it done. You'll get the work done.
It's taken me a lot of years to make that possible. Like, I'll be completely honest, I'm a survivor of a possible suicide attempt, and I have been suicidal before. Like, I'm at the point now where I don't care about selling my soul, because like I feel like people should know that even if you have thoughts of giving up and you keep going, then look where that has gotten me. Like, the most recent attempt was last year. A year ago in January, I've been a year clean of thoughts or attempts. And there was one person in particular who made that happen, made me go that far, and it was my mom's ex-boyfriend, which I'm actually on the road to recovery of what he did to me, because we are no longer living with him. And just everything he did to me just pushed me over the limit, to the point where one day in the middle of a complete snowstorm, I came home from high school, changed, put on my jacket, hat, my jacket and my gloves or hat, and I took off for the rest of the night. And I sat by a bridge with water that was not frozen, and that was about 15 feet off the ground. And I just sat there thinking about just why I should be here, like, what do I have left? Because at that moment, I was just feeling helpless, like I had nothing to live for, nothing to do, or just I had no motivation to even do anything. And then just, I don't know what clicked, but I actually called for police and medical assistance, and they came, and the cop actually took me home and made sure everything was okay before he even left. And I walked inside, and my mom's ex-boyfriend tried talking to me. I just blew right by him, because I did not want anything to do with him. And since that day, I have not spoken a word to him. I have, like, the day we moved in, I blocked him on everything, deleted, or I thought I blocked his number, but I guess I forgot to, and he tried texting me, so I acted like it was someone else. But just everything he put me through just kind of put me over the top, to where I'm like, hey, yeah, fuck it, I have nothing else to do. And just, I have a bad habit of letting everything build up inside of me, and to the point where I'm like, okay, hell with it, I'm done. Like, so as you know, I used to be in Midwest roleplay, but I was in there for about half a year, and then just maybe 3-4 months ago, I resigned from Midwest. And don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Midwest roleplay. Like, they are probably one of the communities that got me to where I am today. If I was not a part of them, I did not have intentions of being a part of the media team, I would not be where I am today on Twitch. Like, they had a huge impact on where I got to here today. And it's just like, ever since I left them, and the day I left them, I took an LOA from Lemonade. I took an LOA from, I forget what I was in. No, sorry, I took an LOA from Lemonade, and I was like, okay, I need to disconnect from social media. I need to just take time to myself. Just relieve all my stress and everything. And I took a good, I want to say maybe a good 2.5 month break from 5M at least. But streaming, I took a 1 month LOA. And honestly, like I said, it was probably the best thing I could have ever done. Because just not having to worry about stuff is like, I completely locked out of Discord. I even went ahead and hid my power cord from a PC during the nut time. Because during the nut, I have a habit of waking up and actually going on it. So I took that advantage and I hid my power cord. And because I had non-hacker cousins, so I forget a lot of stuff easily. So I completely forgot where I hid it. Like, it took me almost an hour the next day just to find it, because I forgot where I hid it. And honestly, I do not regret that, because I needed that break. And like, when I came back to streaming, I could tell just by watching my streams back, a lot was different. Like, I was a bit more energetic. I was not constantly worrying about stuff. I was just happy to be on stream. And just, like, I have nothing against Midwest. Like, I joined my time being there. I just needed that break from stuff. And then in comes Northern RP. But people think I left Midwest for Northern RP. But I did not leave Midwest RP for Northern RP. Northern RP just opened a month ago. I left Midwest to get my mental state in check, to worry about college, to worry about jobs, to worry about being in Midwest and having to commit so much time to it with the hours and all that was actually affecting my relationship with my girlfriend. And I just, like, I've been with her for almost 3 years now. October will be 3 years, and I do not want to go through that pain of losing her after so long. And
of course, yeah, I mean, that's really important. I think, what you really hit on there was self-awareness. It's like, you knew that you needed that time off. You needed that break. And I think there's a lot of pressure on content creators and streamers and things like that. You see, all of the big streamers and things like that. They're, posting every day. They're posting new videos every day. They're streaming for, 4 or 5 hours at a time. They've got, however many, 1,000 viewers they've got. And you're like, well, shoot, if I'm going to get to that level, I got to keep pushing. And it's easy to get yourself burnt out. And that's kind of what it sounded like was happening.
Yeah, I'll admit I was burning myself out big time, because, like, and he's not in my stream right now. I wish he was, but I do have to thank one top person for keeping me in line and actually helping me out. I owe a lot to Chad. Not only because of Lemonade, which sadly got closed down today, which Lemonade is another place I owe my thanks to, but honestly, Chad has been a huge help for me, and he has actually inspired me a lot lately. Like, I was going through a severe rough time with my dad's father. We were diagnosed with cancer, and just was not myself. And ever since I joined Midwest when was in it, something between me and him just clicked. Like, we talk almost every single day, and we basically support each other. And I was going through a severely hard time and thinking about just giving up everything. And he literally put his foot down and told me the hard way of what I need to do. And to this day, I'm not mad at him for doing that. Like, if he did not go that hard at me, I probably would not be sitting at this chair here today.
Yeah.
Because I probably would have been under the ground already. And I just owe a huge thank you to him, to Lemon, also to Midwest. Because of all three of those two communities and Chad himself, I probably would have never thought I could get over 100 followers. And here I am sitting at almost 150 followers. And just, like, I'm in college. I'm a full-time college student. I'm working three or four jobs at the Ritter. I'm a hockey referee. I'm a hockey timekeeper. I'm working in a restaurant. I'm working at the retail, which might not be open this year due to COVID.
Yeah.
Hey, support stream. Thanks for stopping by. But, like, of course I'm gonna get overwhelmed, and for him to do that means a lot, and it made me realize that I have so much more in life. Like, growing up was bad. I got bullied as a kid due to my voice. Everyone called me different, and there was times when I would go home from school and completely bury my head in my pillow, not come out for the rest of the night unless it's to eat. And, like, because of that, I thought that was nothing. I thought I was worthless. I thought I was never gonna succeed in life. And because I did not graduate grade 8 with honors, I got told by so many people that I would not graduate high school with honors. I would not make it into college. My dream goal is to become a cop. Like, that's why I'm in college for police foundations. And I got so many people telling me, you won't make it through high school, you won't make it through college, you will be in high school, drop out of college, drop out whatever. I let all those get to me, and I just did not even try to in high school. Did not give two craps if I succeeded or not. And me not trying, I think, made me realize what I can do. Grade 9, I did not try any. I made honor roll. Grade 10, I tried a bit more, but not much. Made honor roll. Grade 12, I tried even harder, made honor roll. Grade 12, hey Ethan, what's up? Grade 12, I tried much more harder because that was a year I really needed to say, okay, this is when my life is gonna change. And then I graduated with honors in June of 2019. So last year I graduated with honors. And then the minute I saw my name on the honor roll paper, I realized that, hey, everything those people said to me, I basically turned into boosters, and I turned into, thanks for the mention after the support streams, but I turned all those into positives and boosters. And I'll admit, when I, sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional here,
Sorry.
but I applied to 3 different colleges. I applied to Mohawk in Hamilton for police foundations and border security and investigations, so border police. I applied to Lambton for police foundations, and then I applied to Niagara College, which was my top choice for police foundations. they weeks went by, only hearing from Lambton. Then another 2 weeks after hearing from Lambton, I'll admit at this point I literally broke down in tears because I knew I was one step closer to my dream goal. And a few weeks went by and I got my acceptance letter from Niagara College. And I'll admit, I literally broke down in tears and I was yelling for my mom to come in my room, and she had no idea what was going on. She just saw me sitting on my bed, looking at my laptop in tears with my hands in my head. And all I said was, I got in because going around to Niagara. And at that point in time, I feel like my life has changed forever. So I still get those ups and downs. But
Go ahead.
just being able to prove everyone wrong that said that I was worth nothing has really motivated me to actually start my whole motivational speaking program and actually go around to different places once this whole virus is done and actually share this exact story with people.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit on a couple of really good points there. And one of them was, everybody who was trying to tell you couldn't do it. I have to say, probably the biggest motivator that I've seen is someone telling you, yeah, you can't do that. It's like, please tell me I can't do it so I can prove you wrong. I mean, that's probably one of the strongest, most powerful motivators you can have. Or if you let it, it can be the worst thing for you. Some people internalize it and they take it personally, and it's like, oh, well, if so and so doesn't think I can do it, then I can't. And you start having this negative self-talk, telling yourself, no, you can't do that, you're not good enough, you're not strong enough, you're not smart enough, whatever negative internal voice you want to put on that. You start selling that to yourself, and what you internalize is what you show to the world. It's the type of person that you are. And so, I got to commend you for being able to, just take it like, okay, yeah, you say I can't do it. All right, watch me.
Yeah, let's just say that I have a lot of people under me actually looking up to me. Like, I now put myself out there to people and give them that support. Another thing that, again, he's not in here, but Chad, again, another thing that he inspired me to do was someone reached out to me on Facebook with a very disturbing message, saying exactly how my last message to one of my friends read. He goes, I'm sorry for bugging you, I'm not worth anything, goodbye. Those are my exact words to my one friend. Just my last suicide thought and attempt, and immediately once I got that message from him, something Chad did actually inspired me to do this. I actually called his local police department. He lives all the way out in Florida, so I called from the side of the highway all the way out to the Florida police department where he lives, and actually got an officer to go check on him. And honestly, to this day, I do not regret doing it, because it just, I would not be able to sleep, and I know if I knew the fact that I did not do anything, I just said, okay, whatever. Like, just no, that doesn't sit well with me. And I'll admit, I have, back to the whole cancer story, but I have not cried I'm 19 now. I have not cried before this whole thing happened. I have not cried since probably I want to say maybe 7, 8. So 10 years I have not, no, sorry, I cried maybe when I was 10, I believe. And again, I'm getting emotional, but I wake up one day, it was actually on the thing that hurts me the most is that it happened on my girlfriend's 2 years 6 month anniversary. So I was planning on going to spend the day with her, and I wake up to seeing a message from my girlfriend saying I love you, which something immediately clicked in and was like, okay, something's going on. Because normally I message her first, because I normally sleep later than she does, because she has 3 little brothers at home. And so I'm like, okay, something is going on. Then I see my sister coming in my room. I could tell that she has just got done crying, because her eyes were puffy. She sits down on my bed, and the next words that came out of her mouth immediately brought me to tears. The next words were that he's gone. And as you can tell, I'm starting to get emotional. But that immediately hit me. I immediately broke down in tears. And that whole day, I would be fine 1 hour. The next hour, I would be crying for the next hour and a half. Then I would be fine the next hour. And I just could not go see my girlfriend at that stage. Like, I did end up going to see her, but for like 30 minutes, just to drop something off. And she knew I was not myself, because I was not talking to her much. I did not get out of my car. I just wanted to go home. And, like, I was a complete wreck. Like, my mom has never seen me cry in a few years. My dad has never seen me cry in a few years. And I literally broke down to the both of them. And like, I'm ready to see my dad that day. As soon as I walked to the door, I started bawling, and he was busy doing something with his wife's son, and he immediately stopped doing that and hugged me and would not let go of me. Until I left. And just, I'll admit, I was a complete wreck, and knowing that I have to live with the death of him being on my girlfriend's anniversary is gonna kill me to this day. And I just feel like it just won't be the same. Like, he's been gone since April. I want to say April. Yeah, April 30th, he passed away. It just going on knowing that I have to live with that to this day just doesn't sit well with me. Nino, thanks for the follow, man. But yeah, I've been through so much that this is basically what is inspiring me to do these kinds of live stream and just do this motivational speaking. It just, yeah, I feel like I'm taking the show away from you so much, so I'm gonna let you go on.
No, you're fine. No, it's a rough story, and losing someone close to you is always difficult. And sometimes it takes time to get over that.
Yeah.
Have all the different stages of grieving and things like that. But I think the one thing that a lot of men in particular we have issues with is we're told, like, you've got to be a man, you've got to be tough, you got to be strong, don't let them see you cry, that sort of thing. And I feel like sometimes we're almost primed to, not have emotions. We're not supposed to, be emotional, but we're people too. We have emotions, and it's not healthy to keep them all bottled up all the time. And so sometimes, when you internalize that much, it definitely can, just spill over. And you just you have one of those episodes like you were talking about when you lost your grandfather, and that's a hard thing. I know losing a parent or a grandparent is not an easy thing to go through. I mean, I lost my grandmother my freshman year of college, and then my grandfather about 5 years later, and it was tough. I mean, I was very close to them, and it.
Oh my God, no. Nino, are you kidding me, dude? Did you really just
awesome.
Did you really just donate 35, man?
Man, that's awesome.
Damn, man.
Silent Nims, awesome. Thank you for the donation, brother.
That means a lot, Nino. Really appreciate it, man. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there, but
No,
just
no,
kinda,
that's important.
just kinda caught me off guard. Really appreciate it, man.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. But yeah, I mean, you know, fighting through those things and, you know, being getting to that point of acceptance is something that takes time. And you know, we like to think as, you know, as guys, we're very goal focused. It's like, okay, I've got this problem, I'm going to do this and this, and then it'll get me to the solution, right? So we look at the grieving process as, you know, a straight line, but the problem is the grieving process is a continuum. You can go to here and then down here and then back to here, and you know, sometimes you slip back into it. Sometimes, you know, you start, you know, with, you know, denial, and you like, no, they're not gone, and then you move on to anger, bargaining, whatever phase you move to, and sometimes you slip back into those, and that's okay. I think that's the biggest thing that we need to understand, is that's part of the process, and it is a process. It's not something that you can shortcut. It just takes time, and it's tough. It's not an easy thing to do. And in those moments, I think it's important to lean on, you know, those people that are closest to us, that understand what we're going through and how much they meant to us.
I hate having a keep-on set up, but as I was saying, there is one Discord server in particular that has really helped me, Ed, and I will actually leave a link to it in my chat here. Oh, never mind, I will afterwards. But it's ran by someone that seen on TikTok, actually. Oh my god, no, dude. Are you kidding? No. No. Really,
Wow,
man?
Silent Nims, you're
really? Are you really trying to have me break down on stream, man? Anyways,
That's so awesome.
Now I lost what I was saying. And yes, I may be on patrol, man. You know I might be live doing it. But, yeah, there is this one server I'm actually in right now, and it's all about mental health. And there's times at night where I do not sleep at all. Like, I'm up all night, cause there's just so much going through my head that I just cannot close my eyes. Like, I'm amid because of what my mom's ex-boyfriend did to me. I have flashbacks of being in that household, and just every time I close my eyes, I just relive those. Like, I'm a victim of both all kinds of abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, and verbal abuse. Like, it was at the point where I would literally lock myself in my bedroom and not commit a message to eat, and just it affected everything. And like, I would literally be afraid to leave my room, just even to go to my car to go hang out with friends. Like, it was that bad that I'm just, okay, no, I'm locking myself in my room. All I would do was play on my PlayStation. Once I got my PC, all I would do was play on my PC. And every time I tried to go sit out with my mom in the living room, because I still wanted to have a decent relationship with my mom, because I'm admit everything he did was affecting mine and her relationship too. And every time I went to do that and he would come home, I would just look at my mom and be like, I'm sorry, I can't be out here. And I got up and went in my room and I closed my door. And sometimes it got to the point where I literally had to barricade my door from the inside. And I just, because of that, just affected a lot of things. Affected my mental health, affected everything. And yeah, like Easton just said in my chat, it's sad that mental health isn't talked about more, and I think it's sad that people rather bottle up the emotions and hide them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what is up with me, because every time I would try to express my feelings around my mom's ex, or just see my mom with my mom's ex nearby, he would interrupt me and be like, "Oh, get over it." And it got to the point where I was doing like, "Okay, like this, it. I'm done expressing my feelings. I'm done telling people how I feel, because it seems like no one gives two shits about how I feel." And that's my biggest issue that I'm trying to break, and it causes a lot with between me and my girlfriend, because we both have our days when we both say something one of us don't like, and it leads to a huge fight. Yeah, feeling you that you know, or how when you say your name I cannot figure. I know who you are, but just because of everything he did, I'm just not the same person I used to be. Like before we moved in with him, I was happy. Like I was always smiling. I was happy to meet new people, happy to talk to people. I had no thoughts, no nothing. Well, grade 5, the thoughts. Oh yeah, after. Yeah, so my mom was with him for 11 years. And we first moved in when I was in grade 5. So around the time all these thoughts started, we moved in with him. And let's just say it was 11 years of complete torture. And because of those 11 years, I have hid my emotions from everyone. Yeah, see, I have severe trust issues due to having to drop so many friends. So that's another one of my issues. But like, just there's this one therapist I used to see, and she would not force me to talk about stuff that was going on. Like I would go see her. It would just be me and her in the room. My mom would wait at the waiting room, and we would just sit there and play a game or two of cards, and just talk about stuff. Just not. She would not. She would have forced me to talk about stuff. If I wanted to, then I would say, "Hey, this is what's bugging me." And a lot of times, pretty much every single meeting, like 10 minutes into it, once we get done that first card game, then I'm more relaxed and I'm ready to speak. And we would go on and on during each card game, just talking about stuff and just her giving me tips on how to get through it. And I feel like that's also why people don't reach out to therapists for mental health, because they feel like they're forced to talk about the feelings, or forced to talk about what's going on. Yeah. And that there's another therapist I'm seeing at my college, and she does the same thing. She doesn't force me to talk about stuff. Like, she asks me questions like, "How have you been? What's going on?" Because she could tell when things are not up to par. Like when I found out about my dad's father's cancer, she could tell something was up. And so she didn't force me to talk about it. She sat there and like, "What's bugging you? What's going on? My door is closed. You're welcome to speak. No one can hear you. Everything you speak about, unless it's obviously suicidal or involving abuse, let's say here." And about 2 minutes after that, I come and finally speak up and explain to her what's going on. And normally the sessions are only an hour long. Our sessions normally take between an hour and a half to 2 hours. Yeah. Just because I've let everything bother up inside of me that I just spit it all out with her. And that's nothing really I can control. Like, I wish I did bottle everything up beside me, but like, no, I just feel like no one really cares about my emotions. Like, I'm still isolating myself in my room. Like, I'm in here sitting at this chair pretty much 24 hours a day, or 12 hours a day, from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, because every time I leave my room I have flashbacks of still being in my old house and seeing him walking around. And that's something I want to break, but it's just hard right now because of everything going on.
Of course. And yeah, it's difficult to be able to trust somebody when you go through a situation like that truly wasn't anything that you did. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't something that you caused or that you made happen, but it's something that you had to live through. And I think finding a good therapist like you've done, it sounds like, is a really important part of that. Somebody who you can trust, who you can talk about. I see Nim's our big donator here saying that he has a problem he feels like he can't talk to any about. But I got to tell you, there are people out there who understand what you're going through. There are people out there who know where you've been, where you're at and what you're fighting through right now, and that they will listen to you. And sometimes it takes time to find that right person, who that is. It may not be, maybe even your best friend can't really relate. But there is somebody out there. So I think the important thing, to take from this is to take the time to go and find that person, whoever it is. Whether it be a therapist, a family member, a friend, whoever it is that can relate to you, who can, empathize with you, is probably the most important step to recovery and to getting back to where you were.
Yeah, let's just say that I have a long road of recovery ahead of me, but the small group of people I have, aside from my family that I have left, is really all I need. Like, I have a few former Limina content creators before I got shut down that I would talk to. I have Chad, I have my girlfriend, I have a few people I go fishing with, I have my one friend I used to play hockey with. And the three main things that really helped me during those 11 years was hockey, baseball, and riding a dirt bike or a motorcycle.
Nice.
But so right now, riding a motorcycle is not possible because I don't have the money right now. For one, the one I wanna finance at is like $72.50 and like $93 every 2 weeks. And just because of this whole violence thing and me not working, I don't have the money right now. Baseball is actually starting up soon, surprisingly.
That's good.
But that won't be much because a lot of the teams dropped dead. So we really won't have any games to play, but we are looking at some tournaments. And that the last thing was hockey. I played 10 years of organized House League AAA hockey. So we were a AAA team, but we did not travel. But I aged out of it. So like those three things, I really don't have that getaway to go to. Like, I would leave if last year my games were always at 9:30, 8 o'clock, because we were always the last team to play at all arenas, so we had the late games. And I would always leave, even if it was a home game. Like, I lived 5 minutes from the arena when we were at my mom's ex's house. I would leave almost 2 hours before the game because I wanted to be at the arena. I wanted to get out, and my mom never knew why. I was only telling her like 3 hours before the game, okay, we're leaving in an hour. And even if it was a home game, she goes, we live 5 minutes from the arena. I go capable of leaving in an hour. You could drop me off and then come home and then go back once the game starts. And she never really knew why, and to this day she doesn't know why. But to me, that was my getaway. Like, I know a lot of people prefer having like vacations like getaways. So I do, like, going down east to Pacific Island is definitely another getaway of mine. But playing hockey was a major getaway, and I have actually come a long way with hockey. My first 2 years, I was completely horrible. Like, I would always fall. I did not know how to stop. I did not know how to shoot. And then I started comprehending the game and everything. And then come my midget year, I was actually asked to, I didn't want to try it because I couldn't, but I was actually asked to play on my league select team. Nice. But I couldn't because of my back, which a lot of people ask me, if you have a bad back, why are you playing hockey? I go, why not? What's a bad back gonna do to me? I have protection. I have a chest protector on. I have pants that cover the rest of my spine. What's hockey gonna do? Mind you, it kind of gave me like 9 head concussions. And the most recent, and then just last year, I literally broke down in the dressing room after hearing this news. But the coaches actually selected me to be one of the assistant captains. And I tried all 3 of my midget years to be either a captain or an assistant captain. I dedicated my time. I stayed late after practice because the ice was open. So I would go up to the Zamboni driver. I'd be like, can you give me like maybe half an hour longer? I want to work on a few shots. He would not care because we were the last people. He would either bring out like the things you could get where it's like a goalie, but it just covers the net and there's holes around it. He will either put that out for me and just let me take half an hour to work on my shots, or he will clean one side of the ice, and then once I'm done, he will clean the other side of the ice. And all 3 of those years, I did that. And my 3rd year, I achieved doing what I want to do and becoming an assistant captain. And honestly, it meant a lot to actually achieve that in my last season of playing hockey. And like to this day, of course, I'm still involved in reffing, or in hockey. I'm actually a hockey ref, and just being at the arena just changes my mood. Like I could walk up to the door having a total city day and just feeling down about myself or down about something, and then I step 1 foot to the arena and it's like a gust of something hits me and I'm happy to be there. I'm walking in there all smiling and everything, and it's just having that smell of the ice and feeling the coldness on me just changes my mood completely around.
Well, hockey is something that you and I share as, something common between us because I used to play as well. So I totally understand that. It's your happy place. It's where, you had so many positive memories, so many good times, at the rink being a hockey player. And I actually have had to hang up the skates twice. But my first time was after an injury. I broke my fibula, rotational fracture going into the net. And I stopped a bit after that. And then there was just something tugging at me for years.
Get back into it.
Yes. And, I finally got back. I made my comeback. I was playing goalie again. And, it came to be to the point where it was a little too much. And it's kind of like earlier you were talking about how you left some of those other gaming communities and things like that. It was just getting to be to the point where it's too much for my family, for myself, and things like that. And I was able to be at peace with it when I could hang up the skates the second times because it was on my own terms. It
Yeah.
wasn't something that was forced on me. It's like, no, you got to retire because you have a
Not
place.
doctor's orders.
Yeah, it's like I got to say when I was done, not something else got to say. And there's a lot of power in that
Yeah.
and self-fulfillment.
Yeah, that was like, I'm actually sick. I've been injured a lot during hockey and baseball. I'm an injury prone player, and I actually badly bruised my shoulder from going into the boards after being tripped. I messed up my kneecaps because I got thrashed in the back of the knees, and my shin pads shifted, leaving my bones opened and they smacked off the side of the boards. And then I sprained I sprained a finger because my glove fell off and already broke a sod, and it hit my actually this finger here. It hit this finger and bent it back fully, and then, like I said, I had I had 8 or 7 head concussions from hockey. I had a total of 9 head concussions, because they do say once you get one, it's easier to get more.
Yeah.
And my last one was just last season, and my doctor said that if I got one more, I would never be able to play a game of hockey in my lifetime again. I would not even be able to play another sport in my life. I wouldn't be able to even ref in my life. And cause my last one completely knocked me at cold. Like I was at cold for 5 minutes straight.
Wow.
And it was at the point that were almost ready to call an ambulance for me. And it was a completely dirty hit too. The guy got suspended for I think the guy got suspended for a total of 15 games.
Oh wow.
He got 3 by his own league. Then he got another 3 by Ontario Minor Hockey Association, because that was his 3rd penalty in that game alone. And they said that they made it a rule: if you get 3 penalties 1 game, you're gone for 3 games. Basically 1 game for each penalty.
Mm-hmm.
And then OMHA looked at it and said, okay, no, he doesn't deserve 6. Based on that hit, he needs more games. So they gave him, I believe, either 10 or 15 games.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was completely knocked out cold for 5 minutes straight. And I woke up and I did not even know where I was. Last thing I remember was playing a hockey game. Did not remember anything. I could barely open my eyes. I literally had to be carried off the ice. I felt like I was going to vomit. It was probably one of my worst head concussions I had in my lifetime. It was a completely cheap shot from behind. I ran into the corner to come over the puck. I knew the guy was behind me, and it was partly my fault for turning my back to him, whereas I sir had just stood to the side, and so that I knew he was coming. So it was kind of my fault, but kind of also his fault because he had enough time to stop. Yeah. And I go into the corner, wanted to come over the puck. Next thing I know, I wake up flat on the ice. I guess my head bounced against the grass, bounced against the board, and then bounced against the ice. My helmet was totaled after that. Like, that helmet have been through a lot, and they say after one bad hit, the helmet is gone. I looked at it the following day. there was probably a chip about this size in the back of the helmet from me hitting my head off the ice. And that head concussion has changed me a lot. And I was lucky I was even allowed to play that season. Or, no, play my last 2 seasons. Because doing baseball, I actually badly sprained my left ankle. The program was literally the size of a baseball, and it was black and blue. And that was August would be 3 years ago. My second year of midget, this happened, and I guess I tore 3 tendons in my left ankle, and to this day it's still hurting me, and I'm ready to get an MRI done, but my doctor believes I might have either nerve damage or I might need surgery to repair the tendons in my ankle. And my doctor said that he might not be able to clear me to play hockey. Yeah. And that point in time, I completely, once I heard I cannot, I go, don't say it, do not say it, don't say it. And that once I hear clearing you for hockey, I'm like, no, not happening. I'm sorry, I know you think this is a bad idea, but I would wear an ankle brace. I would ice my foot before and after every game, which I did. But I'm playing my last 2 seasons of hockey. I'm sorry, but no, not happening. Yeah. Or actually, no, it was it last? I don't know, it's been so long that I can't remember. But I'm sorry, no, I'm playing my last few seasons of hockey. Like, again, you're the doctor, but unless I have a doctor's orders saying that I'm not clear to play hockey, I'm not being a sideline. Like, I'm a wear ankle brace. And sure enough, he gave me a prescription for an ankle brace. He gave me a prescription for like a type of gel I could put on it before the games. And I ran at that with the ankle brace on every game, every practice, and I played the whole season. And actually, that was actually my last season. Oh no, my last 2 seasons, yeah. I've been through so many injuries that I'm like, okay, when did this happen? When did this happen? When did this happen? And it's just, because like I said, hockey, baseball, and dirt bike and motorcycles were and still on my getaway. Cool. And like, I'm even a wreck right now, like not being able to play hockey, not even being able to ride a motorcycle or play baseball. I'm a complete wreck right now, and I feel like once I'm able to, a lot of things would be different. Like, I'm gonna be more happier. I would be able to sleep at night. Like, I have not had a good sleep in maybe 2-3 months. I'm up all night tossing and turning. Some nights I'm even up. One time I was up for 2 days straight. That's a total of 48 hours without any sleep. And when I finally got some sleep the 3rd day, I was ed from probably 6 p.m. at night to 2 or 3 p.m. the following day. Oh wow. That's how tired I was.
Yeah, I mean, that's rough, man. It's definitely rough, but you kind of just got to push through it. And it sounds like that's exactly what you're doing. And that's the important thing is, kind of like what we talked about earlier, is just not giving up and knowing what you love. I mean, Tactical Express says, hockey's a tough sport. Yeah, it is.
You got that right.
Yeah, you definitely got that right. But if it's your joy, if it's your love, then you have to stick with it. You can't give it up, or you're just going to live life with regret. And that was kind of the thing that pushed me to make my comeback to hockey was, I didn't want to go out that way. I didn't want to live with that regret of, not being able to retire on my own terms, and maybe not having that, that one save that, I always wanted to have, or, whatever it is, it's like you want to have that last one. And then you can safely say, you know what? Okay, I did it.
Enough is enough.
And you can be at peace with it. And I think that's the biggest thing is, is just being at peace with the decision is the hardest part. And when it gets forced on you, whether it be through injury or your circumstance or things like that, that's when it's the hardest on you mentally, because you're not at peace with the decision because you didn't get to make the decision. The decision was made for you.
Yeah, like I said, every time people ask me why I'm playing hockey if I have spinal bifida scoliosis. So spinal bifida, I don't even know what it is, but scoliosis is basically your spine is shaped like a S. So you can literally feel my spine in the shape of an S. I live with back pains each day, and they get worse and worse each day. Like, that's the whole reason why I ordered this like $300 chair, even though I didn't have the money for it. I had to order it because it had the lumbar support, and I was sitting on a chair with that felt like a piece of wood, and I needed the lumbar support. And the day I got it, I literally fell asleep for 3 hours in this chair. Because it lays completely back. And there's a footrest, so I brought the footrest out and I passed completely out. Yeah. But every time people ask me why I'm doing it, I also have fused vertebrae at the right side of my neck. So, like, I was on a roller coaster one time and it took off so fast that my fused vertebrae acting up, and I was walking like this the rest of the day. And that was bad. And people ask me why I still played hockey. Like I said, I'm like, why not? Why would I not play hockey? What is like a 2.5 inch diameter hockey puck gonna do to me? The worst it would do would bruise me. I got hit in the back so many times by a puck, by a slap shot from probably one of the best slap shot shooters on defense in my league. He probably has about a 95 or 100 mile an hour slap shot. Imagine taking that maybe about 10 to 15 feet off away from him in the middle of the back. You think that affected me? No. I just turned around, blew by him, and let crossbar down on the goalie. Like I said, that shows us right there. I hit you the back by a puck. I could care less. I got hit in the helmet once before. I let crossbar down on the goalie again too. Like, anything I really have my mind set to, I don't give up easily. Yeah. That's also why I broke down once I realized I got into college. Because I had my heart set on becoming a police officer. Hell, I have 1 more year left, and then I can start my application process for my local police department. And here people are saying you're never gonna do anything in life. You're never gonna make it through college. Like, yeah, where am I sitting at today? Meanwhile, those people who said that did not even get into college. Yep. Barely even graduated high school. Did not graduate with honors. And yet you were telling me that I would not do anything in life. I would not make it. How about you look at your own life for once? Like, this said, I will always be living in my mom's basement. But yet, I'm literally looking for a small apartment with my girlfriend right now. People say I won't ever have money to spend. I paid $1,000 for my own car. Not a single cent of money of my mom's or my dad has went into that car. I pay for oil changes. I pay for gas. I pay for insurance. I pay for ownership. My name is on the insurance, ownership, plates, everything. I pay for everything for that. My dad tries giving me money for it. I say no. My mom tries. I say no. because I don't like taking people's money, because it makes me feel like I don't mean anything, like I can't do things I love myself. So like, I have come a long way compared to before, and compared to elementary school when I thought I was nothing. I came a long way, and I'm not done yet. Like I said, I'm actually in the process of trying to design my own motivational speaking program and going around different places to selling my story. Because there's a lot of things I have not said that would take up a lot of streaming time. Let's just say if I told my whole story, I'm gonna probably be here for a good 6 hours. So I'm kind of just getting the bits and pieces in. But like, I'm all about selling my story. Like I said, I suffer from anxiety, depression, probably borderline PTSD, my speech impediment, fusal vertebrates, ADD, ADHD, which ADD and ADHD do not mix well. So ADHD is attention deficit hyperactive disorder, and I'm also on the autism spectrum. So like I'm on the spectrum of it, but it's not fully here enough to diagnose me with autism. And that ADD is attention deficit disorder. So like, I could be sitting here on my computer, I could get asked to do something. By the time I get done on my computer, I would completely forget what I was asked to do. Or I could be sitting here watching someone's live stream or Twitch, and I would go to open up Google Chrome to search something up. As soon as I open it, boom, whatever it is I wanted to do, gone.
Yeah.
And that's also what pisses me off too, is having both of those. But like I said, I can't really control them. Like, I wish I could control all of my mental disorders, but I can't. Like, I take meds for my ADD and ADHD. I'm also dealing with a stomach issue, which limits me what I can and can't eat. Otherwise, I would get acid bit up, and I would end up throwing up. And just, I wish I could control everything. I wish I could go back in time and change my life around. And but like, there's some things you can't control, and it gets you to the point where I literally almost knocked someone out and almost put him in a coma, because I was with my one friend and we were talking back and forth, and some random people walked by and spoke up and said, "Why don't you speak English? Is that a gibberish?" I immediately stopped talking to my friend, turned around, and was like, "What was that?" He turned around and just completely mocked me. I'm like, "You done? Because you might be taller than me, but I bet you I can put you in a coma." And next thing out of his mouth was, "I'd like to see you try." Next thing you know, I was standing over top of him with him breathing from the nose. And I was like, "Maybe next time think before you speak." And that's exactly what I live by here today. I live by two or three things, depending if you want to combine two into one. But I live by think before you speak, because you never know what you might run into. And another thing I live by is take the negatives in life and turn them into positives, because you never know what you might accomplish. Like I said, I never expected to grow as much as I am on Twitch, because I gave YouTube a try and I had no luck with YouTube, and I gave Twitch a try before, I had no luck with it. That something just spoke to me, and believe it or not, I actually happened during my stream. But I woke up and I'm like, I need to give Twitch another try. And honestly, it was the best decision I have ever made because of the people before, because of Midwest, for actually fully inspiring me to do this. for Chad for guiding me through it. For actually, one of them is actually in my chat right now. Support streams. His company has actually been a huge help to me, and because of him, my streams has been going up a lot in views. I'm actually started to get more followers. Actually, the 2 donations from Salad has been my first 2 donations in, I want to say, maybe 2 months. And again, Limina, Chad, Midwest, support streams, and just anyone and everyone who really supported me during my whole Twitch journey. And like, when I first started this, I had no hopes of actually becoming big and actually being paid from Twitch. But here I am, as I affiliated, being actually growing and actually making this something, and being able to show the people with disabilities that if you actually set your heart with something and stick with it, then who knows what could happen.
Absolutely, and I think it's a great testament to the fact that yes, we have things in life that are outside of our control. There are things that we can't physically change as much as we would like to, but that doesn't have to define who you are as a person. It's just part of who you are, but it doesn't define you, nor does it limit you. If you want to grow on Twitch, go do it. Go get it. And all those people who are telling you, no, you can't do this, you'll never do this, you can't do that. You mentioned the fact that they're all sitting at home, not in college. Well, I've found in life, most of the people who say that you can't do it really just are not going to like where they're sitting when you accomplish what you say you're going to do. They don't like that view because they want to keep you down on their level, and you're just not meant for that. You're not meant for that type of life, that choice. That's their choice. They want to be there. But, you as a person have to rise above and go where you want to go, be the person who you want to be. And that's a choice that all of us have to make.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's tough. Like you said, sometimes the journey can be kind of lonely. Sometimes you do have to, give up on some friends and people who don't really support your vision of the future. But those who stick with you, who are supportive of you, are going to be the people who will prop you up in those moments when you really need it. And I think that's the real important thing.
Yeah, like, I can honestly say that for the first time in a while, I actually opened up to someone who actually been working with or something for a while. But I'm actually the Chief Information Officer for a community called Stream Zones Esports Tournaments, where we do COD mobile tournaments and Fortnite tournaments, and which actually I'm gonna be live streaming one on the 26th, but at 9 p.m. Eastern time. But me and the CEO of that we are actually working with the esports organization, and I have actually opened up to him because we got to talking, and he was like, if I hunt you on full time, are you willing to drop out of college and do this full time? At that point, I feel like now was the time to actually open up to him and be like, hey man, like, I probably would in a heartbeat if what I wanted to do was not a left goal of mine. And he just simply asks, can I ask why? Like, why you so set on becoming a cop? And I was nervous about doing this because I didn't know how he would react, again, because of trust issues. But I told him, and we went on a good 2.5 hours straight conversation over Facebook Messenger. And I just opened up to him completely, said, hey, this is why I've been through elementary school. I got told I'm worthless, got told I'm not gonna do anything in life, got told I'm gonna be in college, high school, drop it. And me telling him that made him really come to realize, hey, he's serious about becoming a cop. And he's able to work with me now, and he's willing to corroborate with me and work with me and be like, okay, you want to do this? I'm not going to stop you. You can still as long as you will still have bed, still help with tournaments, and still do our regular meetings, then I had no problem with it. And because of him, I feel like I now actually have at least one person aside from Chad that I can actually go to, say, hey, this is what's wrong. I need a break. Like, there was one time where I needed a 2-week break from doing the tournaments. You were like, hey, no problem. I would just take your spot till you're ready to come back. And honestly, I couldn't have been more thankful for him doing that, because I really needed that break. It was the same thing with that month break of streaming and gaming and everything. I needed that break. I needed to clear my head. And I have a feeling soon I will be needing that whole break over again, due to the fact that we might be losing my mom's stepdad due to Alzheimer's, stage 7 of Alzheimer's. And although he's my mom's stepdad, he's been my papa for the past 18 years of my life, because my mom's dad passed away when I was only 1. So again, I'm gonna be a complete wreck when the time comes. And like this, surprisingly, this has been the first time I have actually thought about losing him in probably a good 3 months or so, because I've just been keeping myself busy that all of my problems, I'm not really letting it get to me. Like, I'm constantly looking at ways to grow my streaming. I'm constantly talking to people. Like, I'm now starting to read, thanks to support streams, I'm actually starting to reach out to fellow streamers and get tips and just try to grow a network of people that just are willing to help out small streamers like myself and actually make something of my streaming. Like, my mom doesn't know about this, my sisters don't, my girlfriend doesn't, my dad doesn't. None of my friends in real life family does. The only people who does is the people at Discord. That's really all who knows about me streaming.
Oh, and that's all right. It's your special place. Not everybody needs to know everything that's going on in your life. I know that in our culture with Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and things like that, people broadcast their life out 24/7, and sometimes we feel obligated to be like, oh, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Then sometimes things are more best kept private until you're ready to let them see that sort of thing.
Yeah, big time. And just like I said at the start, I'm not turning into that kind of person that feel like if I can't spread my story and have people actually see a person like me actually get it so far in his life, then I honestly probably would not even have started Twitch. I probably would have not even gotten a PC. I probably wouldn't have even gotten this chair. I probably would not even have a job right now. Like, if I did not wanna change how people see people with disabilities, then I probably would not be here today. Like, I would probably not be on stream talking about this today. The one thing that pisses me off the most is the fact that when people see me and they ask me why I think I have a disability, I go, So you really think that having a disability is something that you can see? There are such things as invisible disabilities. So mine would be ADHD, ADD, my spina bifida, my scoliosis, my speech impediment, my fused vertebrae. All of those are invisible disabilities. You can't see that someone has them, but you could tell. Like I'm forcing myself to sit up right now because normally I would be hunched over, but I'm now starting to force myself to sit up to hopefully limit my back pains. Because if I get surgery, I'm gonna be paralyzed for the rest of my life, and I really do not want to do that. Like I don't want to miss out on life, because if I get that surgery, there goes my dreams of becoming a cop, and there goes proving everyone who said I wouldn't do anything in life would. Like, no, that's not what I want to do unless I have to. Like, obviously, if something happens and I fall on my back and can't get up and surgery is the only cost, and I tried everything, obviously I would do it. Like, I would have no choice. I'd rather not be bedridden for the rest of my life. It just, people not recognizing invisible disabilities or just being rude about it just pisses me off the most, because they act like people with invisible disabilities are just fakers. Like, you think I'm faking the speech impediment? You think I'm faking my ADD, ADHD, depression, anxiety, my borderline PTSD, my autism spectrum? How can I fake depression? How can I fake anxiety? Those are the two things that you probably cannot fake. People say that people are faking it just for attention, but yet I'm not the kind of person to fake something for attention. I'm the kind of person that if I need attention and I need help, I'm gonna ask for help. Like, my days are literally, I wake up, go downstairs, take my morning pills, find something to eat, sit down for a bit, and then I come up here, immediately put on my PC. Because that's just the depression and anxiety getting to me. And just, lately it's just been getting worse and worse. And it's been up and down to the point where I don't even know where I'm at here today. Like, 1 minute, half the day, in the morning, I could be perfectly fine. That afternoon, I could be a totally different person. And like I said, that's just depressing and getting to me, and me overthinking everything. And just, like, I'm a huge overthinker, and I constantly think about what people are saying about me, like, how do they feel about me, or like what they like about me or hate about me. I'm constantly thinking about that, and that's something I'm trying to break the most. And it's hard because that's just who I am. I want to know what people are saying about me. Like, I had this one guy come into my chat maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the first thing he said was, "Why does your voice sound like that?" And what most people would have done, I did not do. Although he said something I did not really appreciate, I did not like how he just came out and said, "What's up with your voice?" I did not immediately time him out or banned him or muted him. I actually paused my game I was playing, and I actually looked at the camera or put on my just chatting screen, and I explained I have a speech impediment. And the reason why I have this is because I did not speak till I was 2, and I've been through years of therapy for it, and it's just something I cannot control. And I explained to him everything, what it does, what's wrong, or stuff like that, and he actually came to realize, hey, this is something he shouldn't control. He can't control it. He actually apologized for just coming at straight like that, instead of saying, "Hey, I have a question for you." And I actually, because of that, actually made me come to realize that if I do that more often or do these types of streams, then maybe people will start to realize the mean or what it is. I cannot speak from that. What invisible disabilities are and who that affect. Like, first look at me, no one could tell I have disabilities or anything. But then once I get talking, then people come to realize something's going on, and then that's brings up the topic of what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the key things that you hit on there was not giving up on your dreams. And I think that's the real message here for this talk tonight is that no matter what adversity you have in your life, whatever is knocking you down, hitting you in the face metaphorically or maybe literally, you can't give up. You can't give up on your dreams. You can't give up on what you want to accomplish in life. For you, that's, you want to be a police officer, and you're not giving up. You're not letting these, visible or invisible disabilities that you have slow you down. And whereas, other people could have quit, could have gave up, you're there, you're still at it, you're still grinding, and you're making it happen. And that I think is the real message here, is to just never give up on yourself or on your dreams for whatever it is that you want to accomplish in life. You just have to keep going, because the last thing you want to do is be sitting on your deathbed at 90 thinking to yourself, what would have happened if I had done this?
Big time, yeah. Yeah, and honestly, like, just a few days ago, I had that thought of just giving up on streaming. Just let it, the countless hours I've done, the countless amount of money I have put into my streaming career, my streaming into, like, this channel alone was 278, not 278.50, and I spent probably almost $300 on overlays to find the one I liked, which these animated ones I got through Ramiro Designs, who actually made Chads, I believe. And honestly, I can honestly say that these would be the ones I stick with for a while. And like, what would be the point of having them if I'm just gonna say, hey, whatever, I'm giving up, I'm done, I'm not going anywhere? Like, sure, it gets frustrating streaming to like 1 or 2 videos at a time, but like this microphone boom on together cost me like $250. I'm actually in the process of building my own new PC, so with this PC I'm either gonna do a giveaway for it or give it to my girlfriend or just sell it. But like, why am I put all this money into it if I'm just gonna give up? And that's what hit me when I was thinking this. I thought to myself, why am I putting out all this money if I'm just gonna let it all go to waste? Like, this is money that I could be saving for a motorcycle, for a truck, but no, I'm using it to grow. Like, I use the support streams. I did one of his deals, and like I said, because of doing that, it has helped me grow. Like, look at my stream summary after each streams. I'm not getting any red arrows or minuses. I'm getting green arrows and pluses. And because of that, gives me boosts of energies. And still seeing that to this day, like, I bet you after this stream, I would have a lot of green arrows in pretty much every single category. And like, just seeing that just changes my mood completely. Like, so like I said, it's frustrating streaming to one video, but everyone has to start somewhere. Like, as of today, I'm starting up my YouTube channel back up. I started posting clips from streams on TikToks. I started posting clips on Instagram. It's just, why would I be doing all of this if I'm just gonna give up in the end? And that's just not who I am, someone to give up easily. It's just because of everything I've been through, just not who I am.
Well, rock on, man. Make it happen. That's the best thing I could say. Don't give up on that. Don't lose that mentality that way that you are. And I have no doubt that you're going to get where you want to go.
And back to being thankful. I wish he was here right now, but he's stuck at work, I believe. I wish he's home now. But Chad is probably the most person who I owe everything to.
Good guy.
Like, we both support each other. We both stay up late for each other if he's not working, and we actually give each other someone to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
I actually helped him through a lot. He helped me through a lot, and it's just because of him. I would have probably given up streaming a while back. Like probably 2 months ago, I probably would have given up streaming. As soon as I left Midwest, I would have probably gave up streaming, because like I just felt like I was going nowhere. And then I joined Liminar Collective, and just everything changed. Just my mood of streaming changed. Because of Liminar Collective, I hit affiliated literally 2 weeks after joining Liminar, and that day I honestly was a totally different person. As soon as I got an email, I'm like, okay, I'm taking the rest of the day off from PC. But being on my PC, I'm going downstairs watching TV, and honestly, it was the best thing that I ever had, because it was a huge relief off my shoulders. I constantly trying to push for affiliated. Like right now, I need one more challenge, one more requirement for partner. I'm not too worried about it. Like I could care less if I get partner. If it come in due time, like I don't want it right away. Like I only have 150 followers. I'm not in a big rush to get partner. I overdid myself with pushing so much with affiliated that I'm just not in the same mood to push for partner. So I would love to become a Twitch partner, but like I'm just not grinding as much to push myself to, because I'll admit, pushing myself that much really affected me, my mental state, and my relationships, because I was constantly worrying about streaming, and about my viewers, and about my followers, and just I don't know, it's just giving me so much thought to give up back then. And now, like, so I still have those thoughts every now and then to just give up. But honestly, if you're thinking about starting up Twitch or even YouTube, and you see this either after the stream or on YouTube, honestly, the best advice I could give is reach out to fellow content creators or reach out to fellow streamers. Have a group of networking people, or even message support streams on Twitter, or reach out to fellow streamers. Women, so far this has been my longest stream in a while. Lately I've been streaming for an hour a day, and then go up a rate into reaching out to fellow streamers. Just support the fellow streamers and just hope to get support back. And honestly, that's the best thing I have ever done, because lately I've been starting to grow my overall support circle. And honestly, I don't regret doing that. Like, even though what made me come to realize it was spending money on streaming, I honestly do not regret it.
No, it's awesome, man. I was glad I could be part of this. I thought it was a great discussion. I really enjoyed it, and hope maybe sometime we can do it again in the future.
I do plan on doing more of these in the future. I'm hoping to get Chad back on for one, but he's been busy a lot lately. But I want to thank you for coming, Ed.
Of course, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.